we are opposed around the world by a monolithic and ruthless conspiracy that relies primarily on covert means for expanding its sphere of influence, on infiltration instead of invasion, on subversion instead of elections, on intimidation instead of free choice, on guerrillas by night instead of armies by day. It is a system which has conscripted vast human and material resources into the building of a tightly knit, highly efficient machine that combines military, diplomatic, intelligence, economic, scientific, and political operations. Its preparations are concealed, not published. Its mistakes are buried, not headlined. Its dissenters are silenced, not praised.
I wrote a book in 1995, and I said that if the West doesn't wake up to the suicidal nature of militant Islam, the next thing you'll see is the militant Islam is bringing down the World Trade Center. Nations, democracies don't go to war easily, and they usually debate and argue before they do. Sometimes they have to be bombed into going to war. There is no question whatsoever that Saddam is seeking and is working and is advancing towards the development of nuclear weapons. No question whatsoever. If you take out Saddam's regime, I guarantee you that it will have enormous positive reverberations on the region.
Benjamin Netanyahu has publicly said the September 11th attacks have been good for Israel. Netanyahu said, quote, "We're benefiting from one thing, and that is the attack on the Twin Towers and Pentagon and the American struggle in Iraq."
Floor by floor, instead of popping out.
It was if they had detonated. They were planned to take down a building. Boom, 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 boom.
All the way down. I was watching it and running.
I said, well, did they find some information connecting Saddam to Al-Qaeda? He said, no. He says, there's nothing new that way. They just made the decision to go to war with Iraq. He said, I guess it's like we don't know what to do about terrorists, but we've got a good military and we can take down governments. And he said, I guess if the only tool you have is a hammer, every problem has to look like a nail. So I came back to see him a few weeks later, and by that time we were bombing in Afghanistan. I said, are we still going to war with Iraq? And he said, oh, it's worse than that. He said, he reached over on his desk, he picked up a piece of paper, and he said, I just got this down from upstairs, meaning the Secretary of Defense's office today, and he said, this is a memo that describes how we're going to take out 7 countries in 5 years, starting with Iraq and then Syria, Lebanon, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, and finishing off Iran.
The bombing of September 11th.
Time to wake up, time to open your eyes. Been deceived too long, it is no surprise. Hoarding power, completely but the law. I guess the ones that write the rules allowed to break them all. This some serious shit, don't wanna be involved. Get taken out, trust the cover story being drawn. Who would wanna die for this while the silence persists? Listen in darkness, all the while child's minds molded by this. By the way, who's watching over them? Where is their guidance? We are pawns serving the kings. May not have robes on, still view themselves as royalty. Can you feel my blood boiling? Anarchist lyrics leaving the crime scene. This is for the truthers who know what I mean. 9/11 inside job, government mob, criminal empire serving to this dead system cannot stay calm. War is a business, profitable to drop a bomb. Hate America everywhere, shit I wonder why. Maybe supporting a regime committing genocide, but that's under the surface where the truth resides.
Never gonna get any better, don't look for it. The politicians are put there to give you the idea that you have freedom of choice. You don't. It's a big club, and you ain't in it.
Program population, we are being played. Led by the best actors, the world is a stage. Lead yourself, peer behind the curtain. Find the Wizard of Oz, puppet master working. It's for certain, we're hurting. Can't shake the fear, appears from everywhere. Misery kept near, advertised to all day. Fed plenty lies too, head the wrong way. We are liable, glad to say this'll be our finest hour. Reclaim your power, refuse to cower, instead get louder. It's a vicious circle, attack us from every angle. Control our food, money, water, and grid, we're in danger. The motherfucking banner is far from Star Spangled. At war for foreign interests, America is strangled. Can't sit still, I get ill, will look to sniff pills. Even if I've been clean, yeah, this shit's real. See, the only weapon I have is the truth. Conspiracy Conspiracy, lunacy, they saying no proof. There is no telling what I'm about to do. Voice of reason, been a part of the problem too.
Early on when I was a kid, I'd say, when I was a young senator, I'd say, if I were a Jew, I'd be a Zionist. I am a Zionist. You don't have to be a Jew to be a Zionist.
And so, my fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country.